Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Chris the Dom One, and I am back with another video. I really didn't want to do this video. Before we talk about today's topic, I have to state this for the record. This is one of the reasons why a lot of people inside the NBA, when you're talking about the NBA organization, when you're talking about journalists, things of that nature, the people that's inside those circles really don't respect Shaquille O'Neal and really don't take anything to heart very seriously when he opens his trap, okay? Shaquille O'Neal doesn't get the same treatment like E.F. Hutton, because you know when E.F. Hutton speaks, everybody listen. But apparently when Shaquille O'Neal speaks, everyone just continues the conversation, okay? You know, everybody says, oh, that's just Shaq being Shaq. Shaq is just silly. Shaq is this, that, and the third. Whatever, all right? Basically, Shaquille O'Neal was doing an interview with a reporter from Cleveland. I think the website is clevelandregister.com. I'm not 100% sure where the reporter is located from, but basically the reporter was asking Shaquille O'Neal some questions about not only the finals but also about Cleveland and as well as Golden State Warriors, okay? So the topic moved to LeBron James, and basically, you know, I have heard these comparisons. A lot of former athletes like to compare these new stars either to themselves or other players, okay? And the mixture, it just doesn't come off right, okay? We all remember what Scottie Pippen said about LeBron James and Michael Jordan, okay? We're still trying to get away from that stink, okay? But now, Shaquille O'Neal, I guess he was trying to do one over on Scottie Pippen, basically said that when he looks at LeBron James got a mixture of Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, and Shaquille O'Neal, okay? Basically, he said LeBron James got his scoring. LeBron James scoring reminds me of Michael Jordan. When it comes to power and strength, he reminds him of himself. And when it comes to making people better, you know, putting people in the right positions and making the right play when you're talking about passing, Magic Johnson, okay? Now, let's pause for a second because we got to let all this just come in on us, okay? First of all, Shaquille O'Neal, you really did not only a disservice to the NBA, but you really did a disservice to yourself, okay? It seems like Shaq forgot about when he was in Orlando, all right? Let me talk for a few seconds about Shaquille O'Neal when he was in Orlando. The Shaquille O'Neal in Orlando he had a mixture of everything and he did everything right, okay? You know that old saying, he's a jack of all trades but a master of none. Shaquille O'Neal was a jack of all trades and he was a master of pretty much everything. If Shaquille O'Neal could just concentrate, keep himself in tip-top shape, condition-wise, and focus more about the nuances of basketball instead of trying to branch out into Hollywood and music, we would have gotten a dominant player, okay? Shaquille O'Neal, when he was with the Orlando Magic, not only he was big, but he can move up and down the court with the best of them, okay? He will move just as fast as a 3 or a 4, okay? When it comes to rebounding, there was nobody in the league that, if Shaquille O'Neal really set his mind to it, really apply himself to it, he could have been leading in rebounds, okay? When it comes to a defensive presence, he was second to none. When it comes to scoring, all right? When it comes to scoring, Shaquille O'Neal can take it down low, back you up, and dunk it in your face. And Shaquille O'Neal had a jumper. Okay, believe it or not, he really did. Now, when it comes to the free throws, that was something he could have worked on. Okay, but Shaquille O'Neal's input and standpoint on as far as free throw shooting, he really didn't think it was a big deal. Okay, he felt like that was something in his repertoire he is not going to try to get better at. Shaquille O'Neal, if he would have took the advice of Jerry West was going to set Shaquille O'Neal in the gym in the summer, work on his free throw. If he would have allowed Jerry West to do that, then Shaquille O'Neal would have been unstoppable. Okay, yeah, you can Shaq and hack him, but then he can turn around. If he could have turned around and hit like maybe 80 or 90% of his shots, he would have been pretty much untouchable. Okay, but Shaquille O'Neal did not want to work hard, train hard in the off season, because he used the off season time to promote Shaq brand. Okay, back in that era, Shaquille O'Neal was dibbling and dabbling in everything. When it came to music, he was a decent rapper. When it came to movies, he was okay as far as movie. I think his best movie was Blue Chipper. Okay, that was the movie with Shaquille O'Neal and Penny Hardaway, and I thought out of all the Shaq movies, that was the better movie. Okay, that's just my opinion. Then he ventured out in endorsements as well as shoe deals, Reebok, not to mention, and I keep forgetting it all the time, he also ventured out as far as television. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal had his imprints in every aspect and every phase of the game. Okay, he wanted to be larger than life. He wanted to be more than just a basketball player. Okay, and that was the clutch. It was the sort of like the gift and the curse. Yes, he's talented in these aspects. Okay, but by him soaking up so much time and investment in those other aspects, he just didn't have enough time to work on his craft as far as a basketball player. Okay, that's one of the reasons why the Magic really wasn't too fond of Shaquille O'Neal. They wasn't going to sign Shaquille O'Neal to an enormous contract, even though people felt like Shaquille O'Neal left them. If you really listen to a lot of people that was around a lot of those inner circles, it was the opposite. The Magic didn't mind Shaquille O'Neal going to the Lakers. They knew that's the route he wanted to take. He wanted to get even closer to Hollywood. Okay, so they already knew that Shaquille O'Neal was going to take this path. Okay, and secondly, they felt like signing him to an enormous contract, and he's already pretty much told you that in the offseason he is not going to really develop the things that he was weak in. Okay, and he was going to focus more on the aspect of being an entertainer, an all-around entertainer, instead of just a basketball player. But like I said in the beginning, if Shaquille O'Neal would have just focused in the gym, worry about his condition and his health, Shaquille O'Neal could have played another 5 years. Okay, he had a good long career, but Shaquille O'Neal could have added 5 more years to himself, and he would have won 6 or 7 championships. We're about to get into that as well too. Okay, so Shaquille O'Neal basically said in a nutshell, LeBron James remind him of Jordan, Magic, and Shaquille. Okay, and that's why I feel like Shaquille O'Neal is undercutting himself, because there's a lot of things Shaquille O'Neal could do that LeBron James couldn't do. Okay, even though LeBron James is a great defender, okay, when it comes to down low, below the basket, he's nowhere near like a Shaquille O'Neal was. Okay, Shaquille O'Neal was that scary. He was the object that you couldn't maneuver. Okay, he had that much of a presence down low, and he made a lot of slashers turn into jump shooters. Okay, but once again, if Shaquille O'Neal would have practiced and honed his skills on defense as far as blocking shots and things of that nature. He was decent as a block shot, but I felt like if he would have applied himself more, he would have been up there. Okay, now you're really a major threat, and you're making these, like I said, turning slashers into jump shooters, and turning jump shooters having second thoughts. Okay, that's how if Shaquille O'Neal would have set his mind to as far as defense go. Now, a lot of people are going to watch this video and assume that I have some ill will with Shaquille O'Neal. Of course not, okay? I felt like Shaquille O'Neal didn't utilize the skill that he had, and didn't even make it better, okay? He pretty much said, you know what? I'm already big. Nobody can push me around. So why should I work myself hard in the off season and perfect my craft on the free throws and some things on the defensive side? I'm already a big dude. People are already scared of me. So why do I need to work my craft? And in some aspect of that thinking, I kind of agree with him, but I don't totally agree with him. To me, like I said earlier, he could have worked more on his craft. Now, comparing LeBron James to Shaquille O'Neal, Magic Johnson, and Michael Jordan, yes, all of those players that he mentioned, they were great scorers, okay? I don't know why people think Magic Johnson was not a great scorer. I don't know why people think even half. I think Shaquille O'Neal used half of his potential, but even at half, Shaquille O'Neal was a good scorer, okay? So as far as that go, those three cats that he tried to compare LeBron James to, they were good scorers, okay? As far as making your team better, well, pick your poison, okay? LeBron James makes his team better by ball movement and putting players in the right situations and in the right positions. Michael Jordan, he didn't have that in his library. He was he was a scorer, but Michael Jordan willed his teams to a lot of victories, okay? Magic Johnson was cut from the same cloth as LeBron James, okay? There's no sense of us regurgitating what I just said a few minutes ago. And Shaquille O'Neal, really, back in the early days of Orlando, he tried to motivate his team by his power and by his presence, okay? Yes, that will work on a short-term aspect, but when it comes to crunch time, when you really need your stars to perform, and when your team is looking up at your stars, okay, they need you to, in crunch time, to get a bucket or two, okay? That's one thing Shaquille O'Neal couldn't do, because late in games, Shaquille O'Neal, you really couldn't keep him late in games, because he would be more of an issue for you late in games, because all teams would do would just hack a Shaq, and they knew Shaquille O'Neal was terrible at the free throws, okay? But as far as scoring goes, I think there were more things to Michael Jordan scoring wise that I feel like LeBron James is lacking on, okay? And LeBron James is a good player, but when you're talking about that killer instinct, that is something you can't recreate. You either have it or you don't. Michael Jordan will go at the opponent's throats. He really didn't care. He trash talked with the best of them. He will say anything to make you get off your game. That's the type of individual Michael Jordan is. Michael Jordan was so fierce, he punched his own a player, and that was Steve Kerr, okay? So that's the type of person Michael Jordan is, okay? That's something that LeBron James doesn't have. Now, to be fair, that doesn't mean LeBron James is like weak, or he's not better, but there's certain ways to motivate your team. It's just not one and only simple way. It's not making your team better by involving them and putting them in the right play. It can be that, or it can be you're motivating your team with your play, okay? Like I said earlier, pick your freaking poison, okay? Magic would do that as well, but Magic also had a killer instinct, okay? Magic will just hold the ball and say, hey, yo, bump this. I'm going to slit your throat, okay? I'm going to this other side of the court, and I'm going to do my thing, and there's nobody that's going to stop me on the other side, okay? So in a nutshell, what Shaquille O'Neal said to me, it kind of discredited his credibility as an NBA insider. And of course, TNT did not hire Shaquille O'Neal to be an analyst, to be an insider. They really hired Shaquille O'Neal for the entertainment aspect, and he is delivering that. But when it comes to the analyst side of things, I think Shaquille O'Neal should just allow someone else that question, and he just do his jokes, this, that, and the third, and let's just keep it pushing and let's keep it moving. But what he just got through saying, he even discredited himself and even discredited him as a player, okay? But, you know, that's just me. Guys, tell me what you think. You know, it's not like I'm frustrated with Shaquille O'Neal. It's just that I'm shocked of Shaquille O'Neal that would even come out of your mouth, okay? A lot of these former players are saying a lot of ridiculous stuff, and they're having an agenda about it, okay? I think Scottie Pippen has an agenda with Michael Jordan. I think he's trying to undercut Michael Jordan by saying, hey, yo, Michael Jordan wouldn't establish all of this that he achieved if it wasn't for me. And partly I can kind of agree with Scottie Pippen on that. But however, when Michael Jordan went on his hiatus and you had the keys to the city, you had the keys to the team, you got them deep in the playoffs, and then the next thing everyone knew, you didn't want to go in for the last play because you just found out Tony Kukoc was going to get the ball. You wanted the ball, okay? So, you know, it is what it is. I think Shaquille O'Neal has an agenda. You know, every time somebody says something about LeBron James, he defends LeBron James tooth and nail, which is nothing wrong. To me, I think LeBron James and Michael Jordan, they're top notch, okay? But I don't think LeBron James is going to eclipse Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan has done so much for this game, on and off the court. And LeBron James is creeping up behind him. To me, if he wins this championship, okay, he's in the discussion with the best of the best. When you're talking about Michael Jordan, he's in that discussion, okay? But if he loses this title, it's no big deal. It's not an issue. It's not a problem. He's still a great, but I don't think you can put him in the same stratosphere as a Magic or Michael Jordan. You know, he just doesn't fit that mold. But guys, tell me what you think. Rate, comment, subscribe. Please, notification gang in the building. Hit that notification icon, that notification bell, so it will let you know when my next live stream or video is going down, which, by the way, I'm going to have a live stream, my very first live stream on this channel. It's going to be coming soon. It's your boy. I'm Chris the Don One, and I am